All right. Good morning. Good morning. We got the recording going on now, and today we're talking about 10 ways why we need to be in a growth environment. All right. This note came from Neno's call. Can I Sorry, guys. This note came from Neno's call somewhere last week, and basically he mentioned that you want to have luncheons with people who are more successful than you. You want to have conversations and actually put yourself in an environment with somebody else who has the success that you want, so that you're able to not only analyze and study the way they move, the way they act, the way they talk, but you can also ask them questions and ask them questions that are going to help you develop in your journey towards your success, right? Reach out to somebody who has more money, more knowledge, more experience, and have the right questions. So here are a couple of questions that you can ask when you do actually go out with somebody who may have a different level of success than you do, and then you're able to take these gems and kind of go with it and apply it to your own craft. All right. So there's 7 questions. The first one is, what is the greatest lesson you have learned? All right. Asking them this, basically, you're going to get an insight of the things that they've gone through. Maybe they're able to teach you something that you don't have to necessarily go through yourself, right? A lot of the times when it comes to mentorship, is successful people, literally, I believe almost every, if not every single person, but a good chunk of successful people have a mentor. And a lot of them actually have a mentor that's not within their current space of which they're choosing to make their vehicle, right? Or whatever the case is. Nonetheless, asking them what their greatest lesson is, you're able to literally figure out, okay, what have you gone through? What have you done? What hasn't worked for you? What has worked for you, right? One thing about coming into the space that we're in here today is that you guys have a bunch of mentors. You guys have a bunch of leaders, a bunch of people who have been in here for a couple months or a couple years that have gone through these steps, that have gone through the trials and tribulations. Not every one of them, but at least the ones that y'all are going to face, we've gone through them already, right? So what you can do is basically come and you can ask questions, and that way you're going to get answers to things that you may not even have to experience, right? We're going to give you the information on how to do this and how to do that, and all you have to do is listen and apply to the information, right? Listen and apply the information, and you will literally see success faster than we did, because we've gone through it, right? So what is the greatest lesson that you've learned? That's question number 1. Question number 2, what are you learning right now, right? Every successful person is continuously learning, continuously stretching their mind. Every single day, I personally ask myself, Reese, what did you learn today? Right? And I have to go back and, basically, it's not only is it a question opener, eye opener thing for me, but it's also here to show me, like, hey, if I actually learned or if I didn't learn, right? It's just going to show me, okay, was I able to learn something new? Was I able to connect the dots on something? Was anything able to become a little bit more clear to me? And if I can't find an answer, then I didn't put in enough work, right? Every single day that we're given, we have 24 hours in the day. We choose what we want to do with our time. So you got to ask them, what are you learning right now, right? It may be another skill. They may be reading something from a book. They may be learning how to meditate more, whatever the case is. It's all a process, right? The next question is, how has failure shaped your life, right? This is going to show dedication to growth, right? Because, and we're going to talk about it, but um, failure is one of the steps down below, but you need failure when it comes to your growth, right? Because literally your failure is going to teach you what you need to and what you don't need to be doing during your process. All right. So you ask them, how has failure shaped your life, right? Number 4, what have you read that I should read, right? Of course, if you're studying somebody, then you want to know what are they feeding their minds, because I want to feed my mind the same thing that, you're a 6-7 figure earner. I want to feed my mind the same thing that you're feeding your mind, because at the end of the day, it's 90% spiritual, only 10% physical, which means that, okay, if you're seeing them gain all this success, there was a lot of groundwork put in behind it. So what are you reading that got you to where you're at? Because I want to be reading that so that I can do the same thing, right? That was number 4. Question number 5, what have you done that I should do, right? A lot of the times when you hear our chairman leaders from Trade House, you hear them say, you want to follow all the chairmen on Instagram, because they're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing, right? So you want to ask that person or whoever that mentor is, what have you done that I should do? What are some things that have literally helped promote your growth? Whether it's sacrifice, whether it's getting uncomfortable and talking to more people, whether it's shifting your paradigm. What have you done that I should do that's going to help me grow? All right. Number 6, how do you know? Sorry, who do you know that I should know? Right? A lot of the time we always say it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And really and truly, it's about who knows you, because you can know this person, that person, this person, but if you approach them, they're not going to know who you are. So it's about really the connections and the relationships that you build with people, just because you're friends with somebody else. I couldn't tell you how many people I've met and how many wonderful people that I've met, just because of a friend of a friend. Right? I was able to put myself in a network and an environment where this person had great connections and has actually put me on to other individuals of increase, right? People of increase, or just individuals who may have even joined my business or whatever the case is, right? And then number 7, and this is going to be the last question you ask them before you close off the lunch, close off the meeting. I know times are rough right now, so sometimes we can't even get to meet up in person. A lot of the times our mentors are not even in the same country as us. So you can set up a FaceTime, set up a Zoom meeting, set up something where you can actually just get 15 to 20 minutes of their time. The last question you want to ask them is, how can I add value to you, right? Because you've just asked this person a number of questions to help promote your growth. But you have to understand that as much as they might not ask anything of you, it shows the type of person you are when you ask them, okay, so now that you've given me all of this, how can I help you? How can I add value to you in your life or what you're doing? Is there anything that I have that is going to help benefit you? And if there is, please tell me, let me know, because you've just given me all these gems that's going to help me grow. So however I can repay it, I'm willing to do so, right? That's basically all it is in terms of those questions, right? So putting yourself in that environment once a month at the very least is going to help you not only promote your growth, but you're going to start to mastermind. You're going to start to think of different ways of doing things. You're going to start to get ideas from that person that kind of makes sense, or maybe it's something that you already thought of but it didn't make sense, but they put it in a different perspective for you, right? So you want to make sure that you're interacting with these people of increase, right? So let's get into our 10 ways. First of all, drop a 2 in the chat if you guys got those questions. Let me know if you want me to repeat it. I will actually drop these in the chats for you guys after we are done. But drop a 2 if you guys are good so far. We're ready to move on to the 10 ways 10 ways why you need to be in a growth environment. I got 13 people on the call. I got 2 2s. Y'all talk to me. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Closed mouths don't get fed, family. If you have a question, please speak up. Driving. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, like I mentioned, I'm going to drop these in the chat after this call is done. So for anybody who missed it, you will have the text there for you. All right. So let's go into the 10 ways. Number 1 of the reasons why you need to be in a growth environment, right? Number 1, others are ahead of you. And we talked, I briefly just spoke about it basically. You want to put yourself in an environment, in a space, in a room where people have more than you, right? Where now you're able to learn, you're able to study, you're able to grow, you're able to take the information from people who've done what you've done, or who have gone through what you've gone through, right? Like I said, like our leaders here within New Wave, we're not at the top yet, but for a bulk of you who are still new to this, we've gone through a lot of the things that you guys have yet to encounter, right? So just be mindful and be humble of the fact that, hey, we've been through it, or we've experienced this, right? So speak up so you can ask questions, or you can get a better perspective or some insight on your situation, right? You want to go into rooms where others have more than you. Go into a room where you have the least amount of experience and you have the least amount of money. Doesn't matter if you're a 5-figure earner. If you go into a room where you're the smallest paid earner, or whatever the case is, you will become a 6-7-figure earner, because everybody around you has more. Everybody around you has excelled higher. Everyone around you has more success. So you're literally able to go in and model off of what they are doing, right? So be very intentional with your space. Be very intentional with the information that's floating around you. Do not take it for granted, family. I promise you, do not take it for granted, because you will slow yourself up. right? Could you show how you trade in your demo account on One Trade? Okay, so for the trading, I can do a foundations or a basics call today later on, but this is just our morning gems recap where we get information throughout the week and present it to the family. So this right here is not a trading call, but later on today I can drop a link for a foundations training, or it's possibly there in the 12359 schedule as well. And that's going to show you how to enter into your demo, how to enter into trades, how to take your profits and all of that stuff. All right. So yes, others are ahead of you. If you are the smartest in the room, you are the cap, right? And if you are the cap, that means that you're not gonna be able to move much further because there is nobody there to stretch your mind. There's nobody there to stretch your thinking and to stretch, the things that you can do, right? Not to say that you can't go do it on your own, but when you're the smartest in the room, or when you have the most success in the room, who are you gonna model yourself off of, right? Yes, there are people that are going to be modeling off of you, but at the end of the day, everyone needs to grow, and everyone can continue to grow no matter how old, no matter what you've gone through, no matter what you've experienced, right? Okay, so that's number one, others are ahead of you. Number two, you are continuously challenged, right? So you want to surround yourself with people who will push you. Surround yourself with those individuals who know that you have more in you, who know that you have a great potential that you need to fulfill, right? And give you that little bit of uncomfortable feeling for you to do better, right? Because again, we're here to make sure that everyone reaches their best, their highest potential, and to become everything that we strive for, or everything that we desire, right? So you'll feel uncomfortable when being around somebody who's always on the move, right? You're not going to outwork them, okay? You're not going to outwork them. And once you start to put yourself around somebody who's continuously working and continuously putting in the effort, it's not going to be hard to outwork them, but it's going to be a challenge for you, knowing that, let's just say you're somebody who isn't usually on the go like that. Or let's just say you're not used to talking to random people, or whatever the case is, right? You want to strive to outwork that individual who is working harder than you, right? Because at the end of the day, if we're not seeing the success that we want, there's no reason why we shouldn't be putting in our best efforts to actually gain that success, right? So that's number two, you are continuously challenged. Number three, your environment must be focused on going forward, right? Now, I was on a call with Yvonne Tapia, and he was talking about, let me see if I can find the note actually. He was talking about, he was talking about the difference between your friends and, yes, here it is, perfect. He was talking about the difference between your friends and your mentors, right? Your best friends and your mentors. So an uncommon mentor is not normally your friend. So an uncommon mentor would be people of the higher ranks that we don't really have access to, right? Your best friend loves you the way you are. Your mentor loves you so much that he or she cannot leave you the way you are, right? Your mentor wants the best for you and knows that there's so much more within you. So your mentor's going to push you. Your mentor's going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, right? Your best friend now loves you for the person that you've become. And a lot of the time they don't like change, right? Your mentors are gonna say things that are gonna make you uncomfortable, right? If they agree, like your best friends, if they agree, then they have the same results as us. So then what needs to change, right? Your best friends will be comfortable with your past, but your mentors will be comfortable with your future. Your mentors are going to want to have conversations about your future and figure out, okay, what's the direction that we're going in? When your best friends are going to want to reminisce on the past. Oh, remember the good old days, da da da, right? Mentors will remove your weaknesses, but your best friends will ignore your weaknesses. So your best friends are going to praise you for what you're good at, for what you're capable at. And then your mentors are going to pinpoint your weaknesses and weak spots that you can strengthen, that you can do better, and that you can actually improve, so that now you're becoming more versatile in your space, right? Where are we at? The talks get uncomfortable. Sit at tables where you have the least amount of results. Your best friends are cheerleaders, right? Your best friends are going to cheer you on. They're going to be your support system, but your mentors are your coach, right? Your best friends see what you do right. Your mentors are seeing what you're doing wrong, right? Ask questions and ask for opinions, okay? So yeah, that's basically that. But just to show and highlight the differences between having a best friend and having a mentor. Again, mentors are people that want you to grow, want you to do better, that see little things that can be sharpened up and tightened up. And honestly, a lot of the conversations you have with your mentor are not supposed to make you comfortable, right? If you have a true mentor that really wants to help you grow, these conversations are going to get uncomfortable. These conversations are going to start to get serious, and it's going to start to talk about promoting your growth and pinpointing areas where, things can be tightened up, things can be a little bit different, things can be better for you, right? So your environment must be focused on going forward. You cannot focus on the past, focus on where we're going, right? A lot of pros and cons. Yep, for sure. Focus on where you're going, what's coming next, right? Yesterday's game won't win today's championship. Please pay attention to that. Yesterday's game will not win today's championship. So just because you won a game and you may have won it by a landslide, you can still lose today's championship if you don't show up for today, right? That's why we always talk about today, today, today. What are we doing today? What are we getting done today? What work am I putting in today? Not because I did so much yesterday, that doesn't exempt the fact that we have to still put in the work today, right? What you focus on grows, right? So the old story is holding you back from getting you where you want to go, right? How many of us are still holding on to old hurts, past experiences, things that we haven't healed from? All of those things are going to stunt your growth. All the things that you decide to hold dear in your heart, or you decide to hold deep down, or things that you can't get rid of. It could have been 6 months ago, it could have been 6 years ago, but for some reason we still let it bother us. For some reason it's still a burning hurt in our heart. That's because we're choosing to hold on to the past. We're choosing to hold on to things that have already happened. We can't go and change the past. We have to accept it and move on. Focus on the future, focus forward. Understand that you still have so much more to come, right? Not because, maybe you didn't graduate high school or college, or not because you weren't able to, get this task done or get that task done, or not because you failed, in a relay in high school means that you're not going to win at life. Let it go. Let it go, move forward, shed your skin, right? And continue to make the decisions that are going to help promote your growth, that are going to help push you forward, right? Create that new chapter in your life. Don't be a prisoner of your past. Be the architect of your future, all right? You have the ability to create it, and you have the ability to choose what you allow to sit in your subconscious, allow to burn in your head. But understand that it doesn't happen overnight. This does not happen overnight, so we have to be mindful of the fact that there are certain things that we are choosing. There are certain things that we decide to hold with us, but we have to be consistent and disciplined in the efforts to actually change all of that. Okay. Number 4, the atmosphere is affirming, right? Everyone around you is speaking success into you, affirming it out into the universe, the success that is coming to you, right? We always do our daily affirmations. I'm a winner. I am great. I am abundance. I am health. I am wealth. I am a millionaire. I am a billionaire. I am a chairwoman. I am a chairman. I am, right? You want to put that energy out into the earth. You want to put the emotion behind it. And then that way you are now creating not only that feel because honestly, the way you feel is energy, right? So speaking the words and putting that energy behind the words that you speak, the stronger you're able to do that, the louder, the louder you're able to do that, the more the universe is going to be able to listen to you and hear you, right? Then you're going to be able to start to have these things start to flow into your life, and you don't even realize it. You turn around, boom, what you asked for is right there. Or you turn around, boom, the other thing that you asked for is right there. Because you were constantly saying your affirmations, you were constantly putting in the effort, you were constantly doing your part to make sure that you were constantly doing your part to make sure that you were speaking this life into you. You were speaking this life into the universe, and you are creating exactly where it is that you want to go and exactly what it is that you want to have, right? So say the opposite of the negative. Anytime we have these dominating negative thoughts, flip your script. I always say, guys, flip your script, because then now not only are you speaking that positivity and that abundance, but you're catching yourself whenever you have these dominating negative thoughts. You don't allow yourself to sink into that hole of negative doubt, fear, whatever the case is, right? Once you start to hear yourself say, oh no, you can't do it, say out loud, I can do it, and you're not going to tell me that I can't do it. Right? Once you start to actually build up, and it might, listen, you might sound crazy, but I'm willing to look crazy until it all makes sense, to be honest, right? If y'all got to hear me out loud saying, yeah, I can do it, it's because I'm fighting with myself in my head. Like, you're not telling me that I can't do it. The devil's talking to me over here. I can do it. Don't worry about it. Just watch me, baby. Right? But you definitely want to be intentional when it comes to certain thoughts like that crossing your mind, because you don't want it to overtake you. You don't want it to overpower you, right? You have control over your body, your thought, and your mind, not your body, your thoughts, and your mind and everything having control over you. You take the wheel, right? That's number 4, atmosphere is affirming. Number 5, step out of your comfort zone. Lord Jesus, family, listen. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. That's the first thing, right? Once we start to get too comfortable, that's when we start to hit stagnation. That's when things aren't moving the way we want them to. That's when all of a sudden things start to fall apart. That's when you slip up. That's when you lose guard. That's when you stop watching your 6. Next thing you know, you got a whole bunch of whatever coming your way because you decided to get comfortable. Or you had your whole business fell apart because you decided to get comfortable. Or, maybe you were good with where you're living, and then, prices raised, but you were already comfortable with your life. So now you can't even pay for the area, the space that you're living in, because you got comfortable. Life grows, time grows, nature grows. It's literally the cycle of life. There's nothing that sits in stagnation when it comes to nature, when it comes to living things, right? So don't ever get comfortable in your own space, because at some point time will catch up to you and it'll force you to be uncomfortable. And it's going to be uncomfortable in a way that you don't want it to be, right? So get uncomfortable now in a way that you can control, so that you can control your comfort zone, your true comfort zone, right? Your uncomfort zone is the field of infinite possibilities. All right. You want to be there to see what we're truly capable of. Then get outside your comfort zone and literally sit in your uncomfort zone, face your fears head on, and watch the growth. Watch the things start to happen for you. Watch things start to fall into place. Right. And then you realize that you've been overthinking about things because maybe you're afraid, or maybe you're not confident enough, or maybe you don't have the courage to step up to somebody new, right? And then you realize once you start to do it over and over and over again, that it's not as scary as you make it sound, as you make it seem to yourself, right? Excuses only sound good to the person who says it, or the person who makes them. You start to give your excuses to somebody else, they're looking at you like, okay, but the answer is simple. Okay, but you can just do this. Okay, but da-da-da-da. Then it's just like, yeah, you're right. I'm just making excuses. I don't even know what to say, right? Don't make the excuses, and actually just get it done. Just do it. Like I said, once you start to overthink it, you will actually create it twice in your head, right? You think about the situation, you overthink it. Next thing you know, you have this entire scenario going on in your head of what may happen, and then you do it in the physical and there was nothing like that. So you put yourself through all this stress, all this anxiety, all this worrying, all these emotions. You go through this emotional roller coaster, and then when you actually do it in the physical, it's nothing like what you projected it to be in your head. Why are you stressing yourself twice? Don't do it. Right? Be with people who are forcing you to be uncomfortable every single day. Nothing grows in your comfort zone, right? Do things that make you uncomfortable and do it every day. You make a list and you tackle it daily. Make a list of things that you're uncomfortable doing. That's one thing that I did the other day, and I actually started to apply it. And I've just seen the way it started to shape the way I've been feeling about myself, my confidence, my courage, my presence. Just facing the things that make me uncomfortable and tackling them head on is really not as bad as I was making it seem in my head. And it's literally just as simple as that. You put it on paper. Once you put it on paper, it minimizes the actual thing that you're looking at. Because once you read it back, you're like, oh, that's it. But I can just do this to fix that. Okay, cool. And then you start to apply and then you start to do it. Then you start to see the results roll in, right? How much growth are you seeing in your income, right? If you're not seeing any growth in your income, then you're not getting uncomfortable enough. Point blank, right? When was the last time you did something that made you uncomfortable? That'll tell you where you are and how much you've grown. When was the last time you put yourself in a situation where you're sitting here like, man, I never thought I would actually be here in this situation, but here we are. Or you're like, okay, this is not usually part of my character, but I'm doing it anyways. When was the last time you put yourself in that situation? Ask yourself, analyze it, and that's going to tell you how uncomfortable, you've been getting, right? Yesterday. Perfect. We need that, right? Gold is doing the damn thing. Anyways, number 6, you want to wake up excited. Wake up excited, family. You're literally listen, every time I open my eyes, and I'm not going to get too deep into it, but every time I open my eyes, I'm so thankful. I'm so happy. And I'm so grateful of the fact that I'm here another day, right? I have the ability and I have the opportunity to be here another day in this life, right? I have the chance to make it right again today. I have the chance to grow another 1% better today. I have the chance to go and impact somebody else's life today. I'm just happy and thankful that I'm here, that, the Lord allowed me to wake up to continue to fulfill my purpose, to continue to go and spread this word, to continue to be that agent of change, right? Once you wake up excited, then you put yourself in a higher vibrational energy, or higher vibrational holding, right? You start off excited. Now you're ready to tackle your day. You're ready to talk to people. You're starting off with a high energy. And that's going to translate out to everybody else who you encounter, right? Remember, you cannot create energy, nor can you destroy it. It's literally just passing through and through, from person to person, from thing to thing, right? Whee! So be mindful of the energy that you start your day with, because not only are you going to be passing it off to people, but that's going to shape the way you move throughout your day, right? How many times have we woken up on the wrong side of the bed, right? How many times has somebody pissed in our cereal, right? And that literally shapes and changes the entire way we move throughout our day, right? Instead of us actually, saying, you know what, I started off my day a little bit slow, but I'm going to pick it up today. I'm gonna shower and get dressed and do my meditation and connect with myself, and I'm gonna listen to my podcast. I'm gonna hop on the Gems recap. I'm gonna get my energy flowing today, because I cannot waste the rest of my day just because I woke up not feeling the best. I'm not gonna waste the rest of the 18 hours that I have left in this day just because I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or because somebody decided to piss me off today. I'm going to make sure that I make the best of these next how many hours in this day, so that I can flip my day around, so that I can actually end the day in such a high energy that I'm going to wake up feeling better tomorrow, right? I was listening to something somewhere, I couldn't remember where or what, and the person said, I think it was Lozado, actually. I think it was one of his calls from before, but he had said, your best days are on your rainy days. Because it's raining, it's so gloomy outside, that's the days where you get the most work done, because there's ain't nothing else to do. Get your work done. Go write, go read, go look at the charts, go study, go practice meditation, go be there for yourself, right? So you got to make sure that you're putting yourself in that move. Remember your savers. What do they stand for now? Your silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, your reading, and then your scribing, which is your journaling. All right. So remember your savers and actually implement that into your morning routine, because again, that's going to allow you to start off your day on the right foot. You've connected with yourself. You've connected with your body, with the universe. You've gotten your thoughts top of the day on paper, and now you can go and tackle the rest of your day. Right. So that's number 6, wake up excited. Number 7, failure is your friend in a growth environment. Okay. Failure is your friend in a growth environment. So you need to embrace it. You need to embrace it, and you need to get back up, and you just need to do it again. You got to understand that these failures are literally here to teach us something. They're here to teach us lessons. They're here to show us, again, what to do and what not to do, right? So don't allow yourself to continuously fail at the same thing over and over and over again, right? Without analyzing why it's not working out for you in the first place. You literally need to get up and find your solution. You need to figure out why it's not working for you. You need to figure out what can you do different to change it, to make it work out the next time, right? And that doesn't mean quit when it doesn't work first time or second time. That just means that every time you attempt it, you need to figure out why the last trial didn't work. It doesn't make sense to continuously try it over and over and over again, using the same strategy you used the first time, but you're here on your 10th attempt. Now you're wasting your time. Now you're sitting here in that state of insanity, right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a change, expecting a difference. So if you're constantly just repeating it over and over and over again, the same thing, expecting a different result, but you haven't actually pinpointed that problem, you're literally putting yourself into a hole. And it's going to get frustrating the more you fail at it, but you really have to sit there and understand, why is this not working? What am I going to do to change it? Right? But yes, that's number 7. Failure is your friend in a growth environment. Again, it teaches you different things. It teaches you how to move through this space, right? Number 8, others are continuously growing around you as well, right? When people are growing around you or they're putting in that work, it makes you want to pick up the pace and do more for yourself, right? Quick example of this, and I love using this example because this really was that trip that really changed everything. But in Texas, when Mel and I had taken the trip, we were in a house with over 20 people. And every corner you go, whether it's a balcony, whether it's outside, whether it's one of the rooms, there is somebody doing something, whether they're on the phone, whether they're on their laptop, whether they're in a kitchen closet on the floor, right? There's somebody doing something to help somebody else, right? And just being in that environment, being in that space and watching so many people, and at least half the people were doing it, right? When you watch so many people putting the work and actually be on the phones and host trainings and this and that and da-da-da-da, and people were smacking ranks on the trip. People were dead smacking ranks on the trip because they were putting in that phone work. They were putting in that chart work. They were putting in that effort to get what they want, right? You surround yourself in this space, and some people were literally a couple weeks in. Don't even know what to do, but oh, they're on the phone. All right, I'm gonna be on the phone too. Or you over there calling people? Okay, I'm gonna call people too. Boom, P150. Boom, another P150. Right? Once you start to put yourself in that space where everybody is working, naturally you're gonna want to do it too. I'm sitting there looking like, who do I have to call? Who can I pick up the phone and talk to? And at this time, it was just me, Mel, and maybe 2 or 3 other people that were active. Shout out to Ebony and whoever else was there with us at the time. Right? So there wasn't much for me to say. I couldn't pick up the phone and call each and every one of you that are on this call right now. Couldn't do it. Right? Literally had to just get uncomfortable and start hitting up random people, start doing what you need to be doing every single day. Not just because we're in an environment or in a room with everybody that's doing it, but this is something that we really just need to be doing every single day. Right? It was very uncomfortable, trust me. We're sitting there like, oh, I'm just gonna, hey, what's up? How are you? Picking up the phone, calling random people like, what do you do? Oh yeah, I'm in Texas. Yeah, everyone's on the phone, so I'm on the phone too. Like that's not the conversation, but that's literally how it felt. Like, because there's so much pressure around you for you to do the same thing, you really just have to put yourself in that space. But like I said, there are people who smacked ranks off of that stuff, right? But that's number 8. Others are continuously growing around you. Number 9, people desire change, right? People desire change. This is the starting point to all success. This is literally as fast as you make a decision, 1, 2, 3, snap, you make that decision. This is the starting point to that decision, right? You want that change. You want to make a difference. You want to do more. This is where it needs to happen, right? Cool. So you realize that you made a decision, you want to change. Now you need to have the people around you that also desire change. Have people around you that are willing to take it to the next level. All right. Have the desire to do more for themselves and the people around them. Right. Now, the thing is, people don't want to change themselves, but want to change in lifestyle. That doesn't work. If you want to change in lifestyle, you have to change who you are. You have to change yourself. You have to change certain attributes or certain characteristics that you carry so that you can change that lifestyle. One thing Imran Rishi always says is you got to fall in love with the lifestyle that creates the lifestyle. So not only do you want that lifestyle, right? But you can't be working on a 4-figure income, have the work ethic of a 4-figure income, and expect 6, 7, 8 figures after you're done. It doesn't work like that, right? If you want 6, 7, 8 figure type of success, you got to put it in 6, 7, 8 figure type of work ethic. You got to, and then to do that, you have to be able to change who you are. You got to be able to change your ways. You got to be able to be versatile in your space, right? Because otherwise you're not going to be able to accomplish much outside of what you've already been able to accomplish, right? Going back to what Jerome said when it comes to having mentorship, once you revert back to your own ways of thinking, understand that your ways of thinking got you to where you are right now. So why would you go back to your ways of thinking? That doesn't make sense, right? You want to change your lifestyle, you want to change your ways, you got to be able to change yourself first. And that comes through mentorship, that comes through being submissive and listening to the information that people are giving to you who have more success than you, right? Surround yourself with people who are working towards that change in themselves to then in turn have that change in their lifestyle. Fall in love with the lifestyle that creates the lifestyle. Fall in love with the grind, because that lifestyle is going to come in no time once you fall in love with the grind, right? As number 9, people desire change. And then number 10, growth is expected and modeled, right? As I mentioned, we are in a world, in a universe where everything is either growing or dying. You literally cannot be one or the other. Once you're a natural living being, living thing, living environment, or whatever the case is, you literally cannot you literally cannot just be stagnant. Oh, look, there's another minute that passed. I just aged a minute. And there's another 30 seconds. I just aged another 30 seconds. You're either growing or you're dying, right? So you have to ask yourself, are you growing within your situation? Not just because you're growing as a person, but we go through phases in life, right? And what happens when we start to hit this comfortable stage, we start to sit in a phase that we weren't meant to sit in. We start to be comfortable and be content with the stage in our life that was only meant to be here for a season. Next thing you know, we're 20, 30, 40 years down the line, still in the same position. That was supposed to be a phase to last maybe 5, 10 years, but you're still here, right? So you have to grow, literally have to grow, otherwise you're dying, essentially, right? Be the type of individual that promotes increase with any encounter that somebody has with you, any entanglement, lol. I had to, guys, I'm sorry. That somebody has with you, right? So be that person that always becomes that person of increase, that person of influence. You leave that person with an impression of, hey, I want to do better, I want to be better, I want to feel better. Or you allow them to feel better. Or you give them a gem that's going to help them do better. Be that person of increase, right? Because growth is expected. How would it look if me being in this space after 2 years and I'm still where I was at day 1? How would that look? And forget about how it looks to other people, but how does it look and feel to you? Knowing that there's so much success that's flowing around you. Knowing that there's so many people who are coming in and blowing things out the water, right? You gotta make sure that you grow within whatever space that you enter into. It's expected to grow. You don't enter into an opportunity to stay where you are. You enter into an opportunity that's going to literally help you change the trajectory of where you're going, or change the direction of where it is that you're going, right? It's expected and it's modeled. So who's looking up to you? Who is studying you? Who is watching you as you do what you do, right? We are all leaders in many different ways, whether it's here within this space, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, we are all leaders. And how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So who is watching you? Who is looking up to you? Who is looking at what you do and then doing what it is that you do? So you got to ask yourself, I may have certain people that are watching me do this and do that. So I want to make sure that I set a great example. I want to make sure that I'm an example that they can genuinely copy from front to back without any gray areas in between, right? We're human. It happens. There's going to be times where we slip up, but we got to learn how to not allow ourselves to slip up, I'll say. That comes with practice. That comes over time. If you're not growing, you're dying. You have to change and grow with the stages of life, because if we're not growing, we will be stuck in a certain phase forever, as I mentioned that. But yeah, family, that's the 10 ways as to why you want to be in a growth environment. I'll say them all again very quickly. Number one, others are ahead of you, right? There are going to be people who have experienced already what you've experienced. Number two, you are continuously challenged. You have mentors, you have people that are around you that continuously push you to your fullest potential. Number three, your environment must be focused on going forward, right? Know the difference between your best friends and your mentors. Your mentors is going to want to talk about your future, want to talk about what's going to happen to come or what's preparing to unfold. And then your best friends are going to want to talk about the good old days. Know the difference. Number four, the atmosphere is affirming. We're putting a lot of positive energy into the earth. We are supporting each other, right? We are affirming our success before it even comes, right? Number five, step out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? Your uncomfort zone is the field of infinite possibilities. So get uncomfortable. 1, 2, 3, shake it off. 1, 2, 3, jump in. It's like when you jump into a pool and you've never been underwater yet. It's cold as hell, but you just gotta do 1, 2, 3, jump. That's it, right? Number six, wake up excited. The energy that you move with throughout your day is literally gonna help determine, the energy you wake up with is gonna help determine your day. However, you need to be able to understand when you start off with a lower vibrational energy and then bring it up, right? And just being excited for the fact that you woke up another day and that you have the chance to continue to do great things. Right? Number seven, failure is your friend in a growth environment. Failure is going to teach you things. Embrace it. Get back up. Shake it off and do it again. Learn from it. Learn what you need to do. Learn what you don't need to do. Right? Number eight, others are continuously growing around you. Right? You're putting yourself in an environment where other people are hitting the success that they want. They're achieving these goals that they set out for themselves. Right? The energy is contagious. So copy what you do, not what they'll copy what you do, not what you say. Right? Number nine, people desire change. This is the starting point to all success. People are afraid to change themselves, but desire a change in lifestyle. So we need to fall in love with the lifestyle that creates the lifestyle. Fall in love with the fact that this is going to make everything different. This is literally going to change the entire trajectory of your future, right? And number 10, growth is expected and modeled, right? You don't enter into an opportunity not expecting to grow. And on top of that, people are going to watch you and see the way you grow and see what you've been doing and want to do the same thing. So, but yes, family, I love y'all. I hope you guys got some great, valuable information. Hope you guys were locked in. Hope you guys got your notes. I will drop this note, like I mentioned, in the chats for y'all. And yeah, family, that's all from me. I'm out. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love y'all. My kings and queens, vibrate high today. Be the best versions of you and be intentional with your space. Y'all have an amazing, great day.